So I wrote an album called Wallflower, and a lot of people have been saying, she doesn't look like much of a wallflower, but I can tell you there are definitely times when I am. And then they say, but the artwork on the front of your album, that doesn't look like a wallflower, and you're quite right. I wrote the album while I was in quarantine and I had a little bit more time than usual for a bit of introspection. So that's me looking at myself. And while I was definitely a shy wallflower teenager, I ended up kind of coming into my own as I got older. The album's a message to my teenage self saying, don't worry, you'll get there eventually. And you can see the artwork on the front cover is kind of futuristic and the artwork at the back represents the past.
So the next song we're going to play is Girl in the Song. So where did the inspiration for this one come from?
As usual, a couple of places. So I actually got given a book by a friend that is called Girl in the Song, and it talks about a whole lot of really famous songs that feature girls' names, and so many, right, from Gloria to Angie to so Peggy Sue. In fact, as if you don't know that, right, as soon as I saw your name, I'm like, oh, what a fantastic name. And you automatic songs that your name has been in. And so this book talks about the backstory of all the songs that famous songs that feature girls' names. So that kind of gave me the inspiration to start with. But there was a particular time, and I hope this doesn't sound, I was sitting in the audience and somebody I knew, reasonably well was singing a song, and he was looking at me as he was singing it, and it felt like the song was about me.
Oh.
And I don't know if this is just my vanity, or he was doing a particularly good job, because really you want people to be able to relate very closely to what you're singing about. And I think, I can tell the story of my song, but once somebody hears it, it could possibly become part of their own story. That's what we want as songwriters, for people to, take your songs into their heart and have it mean something to them. And it doesn't matter if what it means to them is something completely different to how it was originally written. So I guess that feeling is all tied up in it, but I think there's a little bit of a stalker feel in this song that, am I the girl that you're singing about?
So this is Girl in the Song.
You're looking me in the eye while you're singing about her. You don't see the crowd of 1,000 people here. Truths can be heavy. Is this your way of telling me you want me near? Am I the girl in the song now?
So this is what I mean by the circle of light. It's that spotlight, it's that place on the stage where I guess in many ways I feel the most comfortable, although sometimes I also feel the most scared and the most nervous. But there's something about the combination of that. It's being out on a limb that actually feels really good. And some of my best moments are standing in that circle of light, the metallic smell of the microphone right in front of me, people there ready to listen to the music and communicating with me, the best feeling in the world. I start the song, the opening lyric of the song is, I know it's best to give you my naked heart. And I've realised over the years, music can be about dancing and having fun, but the best moments are when I write a song that means something to somebody else. Obviously, I've written it because it means something to me, but to share that meaning, especially when it's from someone across the other side of the world, it's what it's all about for me. So some of the lines of the chorus are, throw me over the falls in a barrel tonight. I'll land in the arms of the circle. So look, sometimes I do a gig and I get on stage and I'm really comfortable and it seems pretty easy. Other times I'm absolutely, completely nervous for whatever reason. It could be because of the venue, because of somebody in the crowd that I'm trying to impress. Whatever reason I put pressure on myself, sometimes it's a really nerve-wracking job. Sometimes it feels like you've been thrown over the falls in a barrel. Not that I actually know what that feels like. But you land in the arms of the circle, so in the end it actually feels like a place that I want to be. In the second verse I talk about sucking in your smoke and all I see is your back, because it's not as if every single gig is satisfying and exhilarating. The times that it is satisfying and exhilarating, it makes it all worthwhile, but there are times when nobody cares. Your audience doesn't care. And in the old days when people used to smoke, it was quite an uncomfortable environment. But there are moments on stage when everything comes together. When people are in the audience that care, when the musicians next to you are putting everything that they can into it, when you feel like you're really there inside the song, those moments are what make it all worthwhile. That's my circle of life.
I know it's best to give you my naked heart. It would be okay if you watch me fall apart. You let me take you in the palm of my hand. There won't be a day when I won't want to stand here before you, for you, all that I have. See all the dreamers in the circle of light, the moment of truth on this stage. Throw me over the falls in a barrel tonight to land in the arms of the circle. I can be fierce, so funny, and mad. I can suck in your smoke and stare at your back. But then there are times you can't hear a pin drop. Your eyes turn towards me and the whole world stops on a very breath. Here's all that I have. See all the dreamers in a circle of light, a moment of truth on this stage. Throw me over a circle.
But when COVID hit and we went into isolation, probably around the same time you guys did, about mid-March, it left a lot more time because I lost all my work. All my singing work, of course, just went out the door. I had a lot of time for thinking, and I really appreciated where I was, not the COVID bit, but where I was in that I, got to make a full-time living as a singer, and the music that I had. And I thought back to when I was maybe early teenage years, when I lacked a lot of confidence and I didn't really know what I was going to do with my life. And I, like a lot of teenagers, I didn't feel like I fitted in. And I felt like telling my teenage self, it's okay, you'll get there eventually. I was a wallflower, which, people that know me now might find it hard to believe because I seem to be quite outgoing, and I guess I am now. Almost a dedication to my younger self. It's okay. You will get there eventually. You'll turn into something you'll be happy with. You'll have a great life. Don't worry. You won't stay shy forever.
Don't worry, little girl, you'll bloom eventually. Your time will come, and you'll be colorful and live the life you hope for in your heart secretly. You can build a rocket and travel into space. Just need to make a start. You can learn a way to display your scarlet feathers. Wallflower, 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 wallflower. Remember how you felt in a dress not meant for you. You're grown up now. Don't underestimate yourself. Let them tell you you're not special too. You can build a rocket and travel into space. Just need to make a start. You can learn a way to display your scarlet feathers. Wallflower, wallflower, wallflower,
When I was a little kid, I loved that Michael Jackson song, Ben. And I didn't know for a long time that that was a song about his pet rat. Oh, I have a cat called Smokey. Who is very much loved. When she was a kitten, she went walkabout. And we lost her for 3 days, and I was devastated. She was always the kind of cat, always has been the kind of cat that loves heights and always climbing on rooftops and walls and getting herself into jams. And her full name is actually Smokey Skywalker. Anyway, she got lost for about 3 days, and I was devastated. And that's when I wrote this song. It just came out, and obviously she got found. She ended up being locked in the neighbour's house next door, and the neighbour was overseas. So there you go. But having said that, I often do write a song about one topic, but it morphs into something else. And I think, as well as being about Smokey, it's about the kind of person that maybe has some of those cat characteristics that can be quite cold when they want to be. And you never really know where you sit with them, which is a little bit like a cat, right? But I certainly know people like that as well. So that's where Walk the Skies comes from.
You wound yourself around my heart and made yourself at home there. You seem to know just when I need you and reappear from nowhere. You're the finest company, but that choice is yours and yours alone. Always one foot out the door. I hope my voice will lead you home. You walk the skies, counting like restless spirit. Coral lights, I miss them when you leave me to walk the skies. You never tell me how you feel. Your moods can slash like paper cuts. You act with no apology, but you know I'll never give you up. You walk the skies, counting like restless spirit. Coral lights, I miss them when you leave me to walk the skies.
My mum called me up one day and said, "Why did you put all that stuff on my doorstep?" And I hadn't. I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You left a whole lot of your photos and, your stuff on my doorstep. What did you want me to do with it?" And I didn't know what she was talking about. And when I eventually went over to have a look at the box, I realised it it was a whole lot of photos and whatever from my life. And it could only have come from one person, and that was an ex-boyfriend who, we had a long relationship, but we'd broken up years before that. And it was kind of heartbreaking for me because I thought, I don't know, everyone's different, but I hold on to my memories and I hold on to my photos and that kind of thing. And I couldn't even, from past relationships, I would never give them back. It was sad. And that's what this song is about.
It felt like every day was summer for me and you. Days stretched out ahead forever, yellow and blue. A Hollywood house, open top cars, a lifetime ago. Now it's all here in a battered shoebox. It overflows. 10 years of us, you packed it up, left it at my door, and all there is left of us is at the door. You didn't stop to say hello or see my face. You left me with these photographs and nothing to say. You dropped it all off in this battered shoebox and slipped away. 10 years of us, you packed it up, left it at my door, and all there is left of us is at the door. I know we had a fairy tale life before the rug got pulled away. Old hurts are only whispers now. The history of us can never really change. 10 years of us, you packed it up, left it at my door, and all there is left of us is at the door. 10 years of us, you packed it up, left it at my door, and all there is left of us is at the door.
This is a song about my dad. I lost my dad to cancer about 15, 16 years ago. And one of my greatest regrets is he never got to meet my son. And I got to say, I was watching this video last night and it was time for me to, shed a few tears. And so I'm going to play this song. Before I do that, here we go.
You were logic, I was melodrama. I haven't safety and security you wanted for me, but I erred towards audacity. You'd be pleased secretly. All I want is a conversation with you. It's you and I that I miss. What I'd give for a conversation with you on a day like this. Your quiet wisdom, your ferocity, I miss that too. Oh, you'd be outraged at our politicians, what the world's been through. I want to tell you how it all turned out. Wish I could introduce to you the people I love. You'd look over your newspaper and you would love them too. All I want is a conversation with you. It's you and I that I miss. What I'd give for a conversation with you on a day like this. You still strike at the strangest moments, but I know you're still with me. All I want is a conversation with you. It's you and I that I miss. What I give for a conversation with you on a day like this.
Now, the story behind Linea Nigra, I actually had a doctor comment on one of my social posts that included this song and said, where did you get the idea of writing about a linea nigra? Because a linea nigra, if you didn't know, is a black line that a lot of women get, including me, when they're pregnant. So you literally one day notice this black line down your belly that comes as a result of hormonal changes. It's kind of freaky. But that's where I got the term from. You know, I learnt that term when that actually happened to me. But I saw this line as like a symbolic line cutting a person in two from the before and the after. You know, before children and then after children, motherhood, all the things that come along with that. And, you know, it's a challenging, amazing, wonderful time, but challenging. So that's where the title comes from. But I was also inspired by the character of Betty Draper in Mad Men. And I felt like she was one of those women who didn't know what was coming as far as being a 50s housewife and all the things expected of you as a mother. And there was definitely a dark side to that character, and there's definitely a dark side to this song.
She's got the perfect skin. It's overrated. She knows her edges. Serrated, how she's created, like a porcelain doll, frozen syrupy sweet, like the dishes that are shattered at her delicate feet. Do you see her on your suburban desire? Sometimes she would rather run straight for the fire. Fill up my could wrap me up in a cloak full of flowers, lay me down on the ground. It's hard to live like this, with this hunger. She'll be the bamboo, to your thunder, not going under. If you tie her up in those apron strings, you'll never get to hear the song her heart wants to sing. Do you see her? Butterfly wings. Sometimes she believes that her jail is her ring. Fill up my cup to the linea negra and follow me down. Or you could wrap me up in a cloak full of flowers, lay me down on the ground, lay me down to the linea negra, lay me down and follow me down. Or you could wrap me up in a cloak full of flowers, lay me down on the ground.
I think there are two types of people. The type of people that break up with their significant relationship and become buddies, and the type that can't. I'm the type that can't. And I look at the people that can and I think, that's fantastic. It's so amazing that you can put aside whatever grievances you must have had in order to have broken up. And, the heartbreaks and all the kind of things that can happen in a failed relationship, that you can put that aside and actually become friends with somebody. And I'm in awe of it, but I cannot do it. And this song, Don't Even Take Off Your Coat, it's like, we can't be friends. Don't come in and try and be in my life. Like, that sounds mean. It's not meant to be. It's, I really loved you. So for me to just suddenly snap my fingers and be your mate, it can't happen. Damn good today. Are you back to remind me of the way? The view down memory lane is never quite the same. We're not two of a kind anymore. Don't even take off your coat. Something to tell me then. Leave me a note. My words catch at the back of my throat. I'm no longer yours, you're no longer mine.
don't even. Threw out your coffee cup, so no reason to stay. Don't make yourself at home, put that shot glass away. I won't change my mind, so don't take your time. I know I'm not falling apart anymore. Don't even take off your coat. Got something to tell me, then leave me a note. My words catch at the back of my throat. I'm no longer yours, you're no longer mine. No, 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 don't even. You know I would have changed my hair for you. Didn't have the chance to show you all I could do. Don't even cry, you know it's a lie. I don't love you too. Don't even take off your coat. Got something to tell me, then leave me a note. My words catch at the back of my throat. I'm no longer yours, you're no longer mine. No, 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 don't even.
I was in Sydney at a time when a lot of my family and friends were in France. It was during not the last World Cup, but the World Cup before, Soccer World Cup. And I was going to be joining a lot of them over in Europe, but a couple of weeks later. But during that 2 weeks that I was here in Sydney and they were in Paris mainly, during that 2 weeks when I was still here and I had all those friends and family over in Paris, there were a lot of terrorist threats, especially in Paris itself. And there was one particular story where a police superintendent's family, or him and his wife, got killed in their home, but they had a young son, like a baby, a toddler, kind of really young, who the terrorist spared. And for some reason, that story got to me more than anything. I don't know what I would have felt like if the baby wasn't spared, but it just made me think, gosh, there must be some humanity in this person. Some. And I found that extraordinarily moving. So this song was written about that time. And, you know, I write dark songs, but generally it's breakups. So this is probably the most politically oriented song that I've ever written, and it's called Shadow on the Boulevard.
I guess you wanted to get your name in the paper. They called you evil, said you didn't have a heart. What drove you to do this? Did no mother love you? Or were you born with all that hate right from the start? You left a shadow on the boulevard, and people I can never go home. And now there's a shadow on the boulevard, but tomorrow there'll be sun. You must have known they would never let you live through this. After that there was no chance of forgiveness. Happiness makes me mad. I'll tear it all down and share the hurt I have. You've left your shadow on the boulevard, and people that can never go home. I know there's a shadow on the boulevard, but tomorrow there'll be sun. You've left your shadow on the boulevard, and people that can never go home. I know there's a shadow on the boulevard, but tomorrow there'll be sun. But tomorrow there'll be sun.
Hi there. This time I thought I would talk about the actual making of the song as well as the story behind the song. It's called Don't Forget You Love Me, and a long time ago I was in a relationship that felt very one-sided. You know, I was giving all the love and affection and I didn't always get it back, and I'm a sensitive soul, and so that's where the song was born. But it was really interesting when I sent the song to the producer. He had a very different take on it. The opening lyric is, "I know you don't belong to me." And what I meant by that is, I don't think anyone belongs to anybody. We're all our own people and we need a certain amount of independence. As much as I love getting the love and the affection from someone, I record my demos in my little home studio. So generally that can mean a drum loop and a piano line, and they can be sometimes quite full and sometimes quite simple. In this case, I wanted a very intimate, kind of simple song. So I just did a piano part and a vocal part. But I was messing around with the tempos and with the style quite a little bit. And at one stage, I pulled in a vocal that I'd recorded into a different project in my recording software. And the tempos were different. But because I had a certain button pressed in my recording software, it matched all the tempos. So what it did is it took the vocal line that I recorded and it stretched it out to fit the new tempo. So it had this really strange kind of sound. So in my voice, I've always had quite a lot of natural vibrato, you know, kind of a, which is just the voice that I have. And, you know, people love it or people hate it. And, you know, I've been criticized for it and sometimes praised for it, but I just figure, look, that's my voice. You do learn a certain amount of control when you learn to sing, to control that vibrato, you know, how big or small you want it. But, you know, part of it is just there. But when I heard this vocal line and it was all stretched out, I heard more vibrato than usual. So more, the sound waves were stretched out and slowed down, and I actually really liked the sound of that. It sounded more desperate and more emotional. So here, this is the vocal as recorded at the normal tempo.
I know you don't belong to me.
Okay, so now I'll just solo the vocal so you can hear it by itself. It's no effects or no changes here.
Belong to me.
Now I'll play it's actually 83%. For some reason, 83% was the tempo that seemed to work for me.
Belong to me.
So can you hear the difference? I know it's not huge, but there's just a little bit more kind of shake, a little bit more vibrato stretched out in my voice. And I ended up recording the vocal that way and then adjusting the tempo. It was a little bit complex, I tell you what, when it comes to numbers and figuring that out. It did do my head in a little bit, but I like the end effect. I hope you like it too.
I know you don't belong to me, so why do I feel this jealousy? my heart right at its seam again. Please don't forget you love me. Call me. Call. Fall. Don't let me fall. I stand up for you when your world folds in, while my own self wears tissue thin. You wanna meet, so I put on the dress that you gave me. Your heart makes me glow like a candlelight, all the while that I try disentangle mine. Then I get your call and I'm raised up again. Mends my heart right at its seam again. Please don't forget you love me. And can't you admit that you needed me? Call me. Call. Fall. Don't let me fall. Call me. Call. Fall. Don't let me fall.
I don't necessarily write a lot of love songs. You know that I write a lot of breakup songs and a lot of sad songs. But that's not because I haven't had the privilege of being in love. I certainly have. And this song, Overcome, is about really appreciating love and thinking about it in such a way that you actually feel overcome by the love and the gratitude that you get from this person.
7 heartbreaks carried me here. I found you waiting too. Laid me down in a bed of sand to start this trip with you. Sweeter, sweeter stories in our walls. Happiness on our doorstep. Could we have it all? You bite my lips when we kiss. I'm overcome. Here comes the sun, a rush of love. I'm overcome. You weren't always the man with the child there in his eyes. Days don't linger for